Hello you guys and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. So in today's video, you already know what's going on. Let's get straight into it. Let's see what we've got today. You guys know I never read my MLM horror stories before. I don't even open them until the actual videos. So let's see what we've got. The first one is an Arbonne and Young Living MLM horror story. It says, "Hey Deanna, my name is Kendra and I have been in not one, but 2 MLMs, and I have some stories to share with both. They're not super extreme like a lot of other stories, but I think it could give good insight if anyone looking to join either MLM comes across your video." Arbonne. I joined in 2016 under a friend of mine who had joined. We're still friends, there's no bad blood, but upon joining, I believe a starter kit was around $79. I was told, well, if you really want to jumpstart your biz, you need to buy a business pack, which were packages like full of makeup sets or a full nutrition line, which costed anywhere from $200 to $500. The whole time they said joining the business is only $79, but immediately upon joining, you're told to spend hundreds of dollars. They also always told me lead with the opportunity so you don't even really have to try to sell the products. They sell themselves. Always try to sell the business. So I don't need to sell the products, but I need a $500 product pack. Right, okay. Anyway, guess what happened the day of my Arbonne launch party? My house burned down. Yep, we had to run out of the house and I lost a lot of stuff. I'm sorry. If that isn't a sign from heaven to not join an MLM, then I don't know what is. But I kept trying to sell for a few months anyways. Made a little bit of money off product sales, but I don't think I even made the $79 back. Cut my losses and moved on. Young Living. I had used some essential oils for a few years and I loved diffusing them. So I joined for the kit and discount in 2018, same as Arbonne. I am still friends with my upline and there's no bad blood. Also, I do not want to say that the particular team I was on ever pushed me to recruit or message people or anything like that. But it wasn't until I came across anti-MLM YouTube channels that I started seeing the predatory business practices on how you get paid in Young Living. So first of all, you have to place a monthly order to get paid. To stay active on the monthly order, you have to spend $50. But to get paid off of any downline order, you have to spend $100 on your monthly order. But here's where it gets a little shady in my opinion. I was never taught that there was any way to sell products off the website. Maybe there is, but I was never taught that. The only way I was taught to sell products to customers was to add their products to my monthly order, then get the products to them. So the uplines are only making money off of my purchases, not even off the customers. And they teach it like, oh, this is great. Then you get to spend less on your monthly order because someone else is paying for part of it. But really, I wasn't making money off the sale at all. So the only way I was taught to make money was signing up distributors and having them make monthly orders. But here's the other shady part. If your paycheck is $25 or less, you don't even get the money. It goes as an account credit to buy more products. You can't use it on your monthly order. So you'd have to place a separate order, aka pay more shipping, to use the money that you made. Oh, hell no. I'm glad I saw the light and left. Again, no personal beef with any of my uplines. I still like diffusing oils to make my house smell good, but I use oils from a company that's not an MLM. Thanks for reading my story. I hope they help people who are thinking of joining. Overall, I lost money in both MLMs, but I'm cutting my losses and I've moved on. So, Young Living. Well, okay, let's talk about the Arbonne thing. The Arbonne thing is very similar to the Young Living thing. Like, oh, buy our products and replace all the products in your house with our shit and whatever. They just want you to buy products. You are the customer in an MLM versus actually having a customer. And then with Young Living, where are the customers? Like, they're teaching you to sign up distributors so that you can get paid off distributors' orders. Then they're telling you to order for customers and give it to the customer, and the customer pay you instead of them ordering their own crap, so that it goes towards your monthly thing. But when it goes towards your monthly thing, your upline's also making that money off of you, so they're teaching you to do it that way because they probably make more money that way. If that ain't a pyramid scheme type of scam, I don't know what is. Now, clearly that's just my opinion. But what this person explained is recruit, make your recruits buy product equals money. What does that sound like to you? Let's look at the next story. Says, "Hi Deanna, how are you? I love the work you do on your YouTube channel. I binge watch before I go to bed. It's relaxing in some way. I was never really in an MLM, but I'm constantly riveted by the horror stories and the lengths people go through to promote their MLM. And of course, I have a million stories of being annoyed and contacted by Hunbots. But I'll share 2 short-ish, lighthearted throwbacks to the early 2000s. You can keep me anonymous. Mary Kay. I was an undergraduate student. I was studying business and opted into an extracurricular program through the business school called Service Leadership. To get your certificate, you had to complete 300 hours of volunteer work as an undergrad and attend something like 6 workshops or leadership each year. A branch off of this program was a group called Women in Leadership or Women in Leadership. This group's mission was to promote women leaders in business. Super idea, right? I'm a feminist and was all in. Keep in mind that while this wasn't exactly an Ivy League school, it was a well-renowned regional business program with the top 100 business schools in the country and was fully accredited. Some individual programs within the school ranked in the top 20. I'm only mentioning this to say what the fuck, they should have known better. My senior year, so 2005 to 2006, we had a Women in Leadership workshop. I forgot what it was called exactly, but something along the lines of how to present yourself the best way possible for the business world. I had been to other workshops that I found super useful, so I went. I showed up and it was literally a Mary Kay party. Right in the conference room at the business school. I could not believe it. The Mary Kay lady had samples and was telling us about makeup and directing us how to try the makeup on. No offense to anyone, but I feel like college students were not even Mary Kay's demographic, right? It seemed to be a bit older or more mature looking than the kind of makeup we wore. The person in charge of the Women in Leadership program was awesome, not the Mary Kay rep, so I have no clue why she did this. She looked super embarrassed throughout the event. Back then, MLMs weren't even like they are now, but I got the distinct impression she was pressured into doing this by some Mary Kay Hun friend of hers. It was wild. To top it off, the super suck-ups amongst us were taking it so seriously and asking a million questions, and all I could think was, what are you doing? This is not going to help you start a career in business. I just couldn't believe that the school's idea of teaching us about how to be strong female leaders in business meant learning how to do makeup and pressuring us to join Mary Kay. The boys were certainly not getting this demonstration. The rep was pushing us hard. I had no idea if anyone signed up. My friend and I laughed about this for a long time. I did walk away with one useful tip from the Mary Kay lady. Always apply all your face products, so your serums, moisturizers, sunscreens, etc., down your entire neck and chest to prevent signs of aging, even when you're still young. I still do this to this day, so thanks Mary Kay lady, I guess. I feel like I've seen this said a couple of times. Let me know if you're in college for business, but I've seen a lot of people say that like in their business schools, they've been taught about multi-level marketing companies. And I actually recently seen a professor say that they're like a professor for business marketing, and they have a whole section in the curriculum that they literally teach how shitty and how scammy multi-level marketing companies are and how bad they are. And I wonder, I've never tried to get anything like into the school system or into colleges, but how could you go about doing that? I'm not sure if anyone knows how to go about kind of pitching that to schools. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys have any like idea what we could do about that? Okay, you guys, this is editing Deanna here. I realized that I never finished this person's story during filming and I just moved on to the next one. So I thought that I would read the rest of her story. So the second half of her story was about Pampered Chef. So it says, one more quick funny story. My mild-mannered, quiet older sister shocked us all when she became a Pampered Chef rep in the early 2000s. She was/is a great cook, and we all genuinely like Pampered Chef products, but being a rep didn't seem to suit her personality. They had actual parties at this time where the rep cooked and everyone tried the food. The food of the month to demonstrate was some sort of chicken dish. Her upline told her that she had to take a bite of what she made after cooking it for the party goers to show how delicious it was. My sister's a vegetarian and probably hadn't eaten any meat in over 5 years at this point. But because her upline told her she had to, she took a giant bite of chicken in front of a crowd full of strangers, almost vomited immediately, choked it down, and then proceeded to tell them how delicious it was with a full cringe on her face. OMG, we die about this story to this day. We still make fun of her about the time she ate chicken and pretended to like it. Luckily, she's a good sport and in on the joke. She quit Pampered Chef within a month, I think, and I'm certain she didn't make any money. So that story in general is horrific, that someone would feel the need to do that, like eat meat when they are vegetarian. But I swear, in these MLMs, people will do anything that their uplines tell them to do, and it's very sad. So now let's get back into the video and into the next story. Next MLM horror story. It's a very, very, very short one. Hi, Deanna. I've recently had an experience that was horrific to me, but definitely not as bad as some other stories. I've been following this Instagram coach for about a year, learning about Reels, the algorithm, and all of that. He and his mother are public figures, and they've popped in and out of my awareness for several years. I did some digging, and the mom was a high-up Beachbody coach, but left several years ago. You probably know who it is at this point. Anyways, I figured she saw the error of her ways, and that's why she left, so I continued following. They recently hosted a free challenge where they taught selling and monetizing Instagram. I've learned a lot in the challenge and decided to try out their membership. Upon joining, I discovered it was heavily focused on teaching MLM distributors how to sell and connect. There are several trainings specifically designed for network marketing. While I did learn a lot from their teaching, I just can't justify paying someone who's making money on helping people learn how to better exploit people. I guess it is pretty horrifying to know that someone with a large following, hundreds of thousands of followers by the way, and 20,000 people in the membership, it's basically unleashing the MLMers on us all. I have been really going into my goals this month and in October and actually making monthly goals for my life, and especially for YouTube. And with that, I started writing down different series that I wanted to go into, and a lot of people have been sending me like Beachbody reps that have turned into MLM coaches. So I'm thinking of doing a whole series on MLM coaches, and clearly starting with Beachbody first because I know a lot about Beachbody, being someone who's in Beachbody, and this is someone who's in Beachbody. Would you guys like me to do like an MLM coach series? If so, if you have anyone who sells an MLM coach thing, like they're trying to be an MLM coach or social media coach and they're like a top rep in an MLM, definitely send me a DM of who they are and send me like their Instagram handle or a screenshot. Don't share their profile with me because sometimes I'm blocked from people. So when you guys share their profiles, it just shows me that it's a blocked person that has blocked me. So if you want me to do anyone that you guys know, let me know. So with the MLM coach stuff, I can definitely go into like what their stuff is. I actually am on an email list for someone right now who's an MLM coach. It's going to be the first person I dive into. This will start coming out in 2022, by the way, though, because I already have the rest of my content for this year planned out. And maybe I do have an MLM coach for December, but anyways, beside that, I want to start going into like going on their email list, seeing what their emails are all about, and like really diving into these MLM coaches and then reacting to stuff that they post publicly on their MLM coach pages. So let a girl know if you want me to do that, and if you know anyone specifically, you can definitely send them over. The next story. Ooh, this is a long one. It says, hi Deanna, I love your videos and I enjoy hearing about the different experiences of people in MLMs. Having listened to hundreds of stories, I have noticed most of your stories are from the USA. So I thought maybe you would want to spice it up with some European MLM horror stories. Yes, I would. I have come across a member of Forever Young Living on Instagram last year who was trying to win followers and attention to his page by doing giveaways, which I thought was very sketchy from the beginning. I have since become obsessed with this MLM and like to check up on some of their top members every once in a while, and let me tell you, their behavior is disgusting. They hide behind the reason of trying to help people and build a strong community and don't even try to sell the products anymore. They're outright just selling the dream. I wish I was kidding, but every single video I have seen from this group have mentioned how they look down upon other MLMs for trying to just sell their products to people. And they pride themselves upon barely showing up. Which is funny if you ask me, considering the only thing making MLMs different than pyramid schemes is having physical products to sell, but each to their own, I guess. So yes, with pyramid schemes can have products or not. Like, it doesn't matter if they have products or not. But what makes a pyramid scheme is if the basis of what you're doing is recruiting. And the basis of where your money comes from is recruiting. So if these people have a product, they pride themselves in and talk about how they don't sell the product often and they look down on other MLMs that sell products. You are talking about a pyramid scheme, my friend. Like that is a pyramid scheme. Pyramid scheme, doesn't matter. Products aside, a pyramid scheme is when you make the bulk of your money from recruiting. Multi-level marketing companies have been shut down for being illegal pyramid schemes when they ran as multi-level marketing companies. So yeah, I agree. Pyramid scheme alert. Their behavior is so manipulative and calculated, constantly trying to lure you into the business without ever saying what it is. Come to think about it, I am pretty sure they never mentioned the MLM by name. When I first came across this guy, I had to dig down deep and find who he was with. But I'm a pretty good Instagram detective, and it even took some time for me. All I see from everyone in his upline is just trying to sell his business dream and claiming to be businessmen who are trying to help you. I could barf from the amount of inspiring posts they make and how many times I have seen them post how happy they are to be spending just a few hours every day working for themselves on vacation. If that is going to try to convince me, isn't that the point of working for yourself, having the ability to not work while you're on vacation, ... Someone else from the Forever messaged me last week, and I decided to go along just to see this MLM better, as I've heard numerous stories about Beachbody, etc. So I thought this would be a good chance to get some insight. The girl got to the point pretty fast, telling me she had this amazing business opportunity. Again, never trying to sell any product, and thinks I would be great for it based on my profile. I started asking questions about what it is and how much you could earn, etc. And all I got was very confusing and sketchy answers. She kept trying to convince me to go and join their private Facebook group where I will have all the information I would need. I declined this as I did not want to end up in the vulture den, but in hindsight, I wish I accepted, as it would have been fun to watch what they are trying to brainwash people with. She kept referring to this Facebook group for all of my questions. I asked her for some statistics, and she outright told me I should not look at that, as the information she can provide is much more accurate as it's first-hand experience. After her mysterious answers about the business, I asked her numerous times how you actually make the money. Like, where does it actually come from? As from what she's telling me, this business is all about just talking to people and helping them and building your own brand. After the third question about this, she finally admitted you have to buy some things from the company, but reassured me this is normal in any business as you need to invest in everything. I had enough of playing dumb at this point and asked her if this is how she makes money then, convincing people to join who will then pay for all this just to join and stay active, and she makes a cut of it. And I told her this is a very predatory behavior in my eyes. Let me tell you, she got so defensive, she came back with an angry voice message saying I have all of this wrong. I have no idea what I'm talking about. She's merely trying to help people be successful. Then she went on to say how people confuse MLMs with pyramid schemes and how stupid that is, and how she came to realize the corporate world is the true pyramid scheme. Claimed it's even worse. It's a double pyramid scheme. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. I thought she would just block me at this point because I called her out, but to my surprise, she followed this up with another calming voice message, still trying to convince me. I wrote up a long message to her saying I'm very aware of how MLMs work and how they make money, as well as the statistics. I recommended her to do her own research and not just the bullshit her Facebook group is feeding her. I really thought she would really just block me at this point now, really, but she came back again with a voice message implying I'm stupid and a fool, as she used to think the same, but she has become wiser and better. I have to give it to her, she really was trying to convince me till her last breath, just would not take rejection. I have again written up a long message for her, recommending some videos, a new Amazon show, Lula Rich, and wished her the best. She finally blocked me after this, which was honestly a relief. I have long been considering sending in a story about them, but this conversation was just the breaking point. I find it absolutely disgusting and predatory how they hide behind this mysterious business opportunity and just outright sell you the lifestyle without even mentioning products at all. Their upline comes up in my recommended page sometimes, and it makes me wander to their page. I honestly just wonder if they are really that naive that they believe what they're doing and that they're helping people, or if they are aware of what they're doing. I hope you enjoyed getting a little taste of some European drama. I would love to see you dig into some of these MLMs that are popular in Europe in the future. So what is Forever Young Living? Because we have the Young Living MLM, so Forever Young Living. Let's see. So is this person talking about Young Living, or is there something called Forever Young Living? Because when I'm looking it up, there is something called Forever Living product. Just from like a quick Google search, I don't really see much because of how big Young Living is. The Young Living MLM, the essential oils, that I can't see anything about Forever Young Living. Again, unless she is talking about Young Living. Let's see. Yeah, she didn't talk about essential oils or anything like that. So I wonder, if that's what she's talking about. Let me know if you guys are familiar with that at all, because I'm not. And it is kind of funny that she kept going back at you instead of blocking you, but then did end up blocking you. That's what ends up happening in the end normally, is I get blocked or other people get blocked. It's quite intriguing. Let's listen to this though, or read this one. It says, "Hey Deanna, after reliving some of my MLM memories through watching your videos, I remembered one that not surprisingly rubbed me the wrong way. I've been cold messaged by Huns ever since high school, but this attempt at recruiting was different. I had been working at Subway, which was my first job all throughout high school, and I was known to pick up shifts anytime I could to bring more money for myself, or to bring in more money for myself. I got really close with my manager and the store owner, of who became mentors for me. One day, the owner of my store called me and asked if I had a minute to talk. He started out by saying, I thought you might be someone that could be looking to make extra money. Of course I was. He also knew that I was beginning my fitness journey and had just started lifting and going to the gym consistently. He went on to tell me about this opportunity to sell nootropics. I don't think he expected me to know what that was. The brand was Velo Vita, and my store ended up sending me a sample pack, and it was the grossest thing I've ever put in my mouth. After looking into it, it was most definitely a pyramid scheme, and I'm pretty sure it fell off the face of earth. However, I do remember that the price was $50 a month and 100 BV, at least $210 extra, to be the lowest tier. There was no way I was affording that. The owners of Velo Vita also both came from failed MLMs, Gelen and Vita Cup. That's interesting. I know my owner is a highly educated businessman, so it's extra sketchy that he even fell for this. I don't think he meant any harm by asking me to join, but he definitely got lost in the MLM sauce. Just a friendly reminder that it's not always the average Hun trying to recruit you. So I'm so happy that this person didn't get roped into it, but she did mention something very important, that the owners of this MLM that she was talking about both came from 2 failed MLMs. And this is the most intriguing thing to me about doing deep dives on multi-level marketing companies. Now, while they take like a month to research per, and sometimes longer, depending on how crazy life is, the funniest thing is finding how the CEOs came to that MLM and came to making that company a multi-level marketing company. And it's normally always, I've been in an MLM, I've owned a prior company, I've owned a company that was a pyramid scheme, my mom was in it. Like, it's always that they have either been in an MLM growing up or like years ago, and then they wanted to make their own multi-level marketing company, or it's that they have done a multi-level marketing company before and then they failed that one and then made another one. Like, it's very interesting to me, and most companies are like this. I mean, it's more so the fact that they have been in an MLM themselves or been distributors, just like Lavelle/Thrive. Even the guys that are the CEOs for that MLM were in, multi-level marketing companies or were involved with them before they even became CEOs of one. So it's just always interesting because there's always CEOs that have been in the MLM themselves, or like have a really close affiliation with multi-level marketing companies, and they end up making their own, which is insane to me. Let me know, what's the most intriguing way you have seen a CEO become, or where you have seen an MLM CEO become the MLM CEO, because I love hearing these stories and reading up on these MLM CEOs, because the way they get into these is sometimes the sketchiest thing ever, these CEOs. Anyways, that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for sharing your guys' stories. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment and subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget that I am looking for ex-MLM reps that do want to be interviewed through video. I will be posting those in the upcoming month, and I am going to start getting on calls with some people who are prior MLM reps like myself, and we're going to talk about the experience. I'm going to interview you, so if you're interested in that, let me know. And I'm going to be hosting calls here soon, and I'm very excited for this new series that I'm going to be doing. And I can't wait to tell you guys what the series is called, because the Hubs came up with that, which I'm excited for. He even came up with the whole idea, by the way, but I'm very excited for this. So I will catch you in Monday's video.